Thank you and good evening. I'd like to tell you a ghost story, a true story. Back in the winter of 1847, strange rapping sounds were heard coming from the walls and the floors of a home outside of Hydesville, New York. It was later claimed those sounds were caused by the disembodied spirit of a man who was killed in that house some years before. Now, that one incident, those rapping sounds, gave rise to an entire movement that became known as spiritualism. Spiritualistic mediums held seances in which they attempted to cause the spirits to manifest themselves in physical ways. Later, these seances were brought to the stage, and the manifestations occurred in what became known as the spirit cabinet. The greatest practitioner of the spirit cabinet was a man named Harry Willard, known as Willard the Wizard, who with his wife Joy as the medium, presented the spirit cabinet as part of their tent show, which toured the southern half of the United States during the first years of the 1900s. Joy Willard passed away in 1953, and several years later, Harry Willard trained their young daughter Frances in the art of mediumship. Likewise, Frances presented this mystery around the world for many years with her husband, Glenn Falkenstein, until his passing in 2010. Frances has not been upon the stage since that time, until tonight. You're about to witness a moment in history, something from another time, something from another place, something you'll remember the longest day you live. Before I introduce you to Frances, however, I'd like the assistance of two gentlemen from our audience to act as a committee. Let's see, gentlemen in the second row here on the end, if you would come up, and gentlemen in the third row on the end, if you'd come around. Make them feel welcome, if you would, please. Thank you. Name, Ron. Nice to meet you. Your name, sir? Jeff. Jeff, thank you, gentlemen, for coming out of your comfortable seats onto our hot stage. You are going to play a very important role because you're going to act as a committee representing our entire audience to verify everything that is about to occur here upon the stage and to possibly grapple with the spirits. I'd like to show you now the one, the only, the original Willard Spirit Cabinet. Take a look, as you will notice that it is simply a metal framework surrounded by a curtain. Inside, we have a table which has some objects on it which hopefully will be animated by the spirits should we make contact. Likewise, we have a couple of other items. Ron, for you, take a look at that, a wooden stool. And Jeff, come right over here. We have a plank which has been bolted to a platform. Make sure that's secure. Good. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is about all there is to the Willard Spirit Cabinet. But there is one more very important player, and that is our medium. Will you please join me now in welcoming in her return to the stage, Frances Willard. Frances brings with her some strips of cloth. This was the method used under test conditions over 100 years ago to secure the mediums, to be certain that no physical aid was given to the spirits. We will bind Frances as they did many years ago. If I may borrow that from you. Ron, follow along if you would please on your side. Come up from the bottom of her wrist and tie 2 knots. Would you do that, Jeff, on this side just to make sure? Make them tight. Don't be afraid of cutting off circulation. And make another knot on top. Make it tight. Tight. Good and tight. Good and tight. Perfect. Frances will place her hands behind her back. And Ron, if you would step on this side as Frances turns around to come right over here. You can look over my shoulder if you would, please. We are going to tie her wrists together the same way you did just a moment ago. Now, this method of binding, by the way, using cotton bandages, was thought to be more humane for the medium. And also, in using cotton cloth, every knot that is tied actually bites into the fabric, making it impossible to untie. We will add one more strip, which we'll use in just a moment, in order to secure her to the board inside the cabinet. Tie another knot. Watch closely. And Ron, I'd like you to tie the second knot right on top and make it tight, if you would please. Cinch that down. Good. That's good. Perfect. Now there is one more piece, Ron. Goes right around her neck. Would you tie the ends together, make it tight, but not quite as tight as you did the ones around her wrist. We want her to be able to breathe, but we don't want her to be able to slip it over her head. All right, got it? Good. Now, as Francis steps into the cabinet, gentlemen, on your chairs, you will notice there are hammers and nails. If you would get the hammers and nails, come around to the back of the board with me, please. We're going to secure her to the board. Make sure it is impossible for her to move. Right, come around here if you would, please. Ron, would you put some nails right there in that piece of cloth, and Jeff right up here, right around her neck. Goes right in there. The object being to make it impossible for Francis to assist the spirits in any physical way. Very good, gentlemen. Another one. That's good, Ron. Very good. You leave that right there on the floor. You leave that right on the floor. And if you would get the chairs on each side, you may take your seat. You will notice, gentlemen, those chairs have been strategically placed so that it is in a position that you're able to see all sides of the cabinet. You can see the sides, the front, and particularly the back of the cabinet. That way you'll know it's impossible for anyone to enter or leave the cabinet throughout the seance, all right? It will now be necessary to hypnotize Francis, to place her in a deep hypnotic sleep so she may commune with the spirits. Francis, as I count backwards from 3 to 1, your eyes are getting heavy, heavy, heavy. On 3, 2, 1, sleep. Many times when the spirits are with us, people see spirit hands and faces at the top of the cabinet. Let's see if the spirits are with us tonight. Spirits, are you with us? Spirits, are you there? Gentlemen, step into the cabinet quickly. Would you raise that side of the cabinet, please? Check her wrist, check her neck, check the nails, check the binding. Yes, she's still tied. She's still nailed to the board. You may return to your seats, gentlemen. Jeff, you would drop that side of the cabinet, please. Once again, let's see if the spirits are with us. Spirits, are you there? Watch your heads. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking somehow Francis is able to make these manifestations occur herself. We're going to prove to you that's not so by allowing one of our gentlemen to join the lady in the cabinet and hold her during the seance. He says you, Ron. Step right forward, if you would, please, Ron. Stand right up. Very good. I'm going to have you move right into the cabinet right next to Francis, if you would, please. Sit right down. Probably a good idea to remove your glasses at this point. Ron, I'd like you to place your right hand on top of Frances's head, right up there, firmly on her head. And your left hand, I'd like you to place, wait a moment. There we go. Are you nervous? Yeah. I don't blame you. For that reason, Ron, you wouldn't mind if we placed a blindfold about your eyes. You know, it's said that spirits always work better in the dark, and this will make the spirits think that you're in the dark. Here we are. Sometimes people hurt themselves running from the cabinet when they see strange things. We don't want that to happen to you. Jeff, you would place that side of the cabinet down, please. Very good. Perfect. You may turn to your seat. Ron, are you ready? Are you ready? See if the spirits are with us. Watch the top, watch the back, watch the spirits at play. Ron, remove your hands. Stand up if you would, please. Come forward. They were a little frisky today. There we go. There you are. Hear it for Ron. Ron, you may return to your seat right here, if you would, please. Good-looking legs. Hold on to the bucket. You might need it in just a moment, all right? There we are. Let's put that side of the cabinet down, too, as well. Perfect. At this time, I'd like to borrow a gentleman's coat. Jeff, may I borrow your coat? For our final mystery here. Would you remove anything you have in the pockets, loose change, wallets, cell phones, bottles, anything you don't want the spirits to manhandle? Thank you. Got it? Yeah. All right, good. Thank you. All right. And we will treat your coat with respect. In just a moment, you're going to see something bordering on the supernatural. Watch it. Watch the spirits. Take the coat. Be quick. Gentlemen, step into the cabinet if you would, please. Raise it up all the way around. You will notice, she is wearing the coat. She's really wearing the coat. Her arms are through the sleeves, out the back. Yes, she's still tied. She's still nailed to the board. Put the cabinet down, if you would, please. Turn to your seats. Thank you, gentlemen. Now, once again. Spirits, take the coat. Be quick. Up. There you are, Jeffrey, clean and pressed. Thank you. You may turn to your seat. Gentlemen, come all the way around if you would, please. Let's raise up the sides. You will notice she is still tied. She is still nailed to the board, correct?
Yes.
Good. We shall cut her loose. The only way to release her, look closely. We'll cut this. One. There's two. Notice the neck, still tied, still nailed to the board. There she is. Let's hear it for our two gentlemen as they return to their seats. Thank you. Thank you, Rod. Thank you, Jeff. We shall now awaken Frances from her hypnotic state. Frances, as I count from 1 to 3, more and more awake. 1, 2, 3, fully awake. Frances Willard.
Frances Willard and David Charvet. Thank you. Come on back out.